back. Well, it is the 14th of Earthrest. It is pretty early in the morning. You guys set off as soon as you could, especially knowing that you didn't leave that campsite too far behind with where you guys decided to camp, kind of taking the first bit of detour off the road. You're kind of heading now south from there. You would know that, according to the map, there was another encampment pretty east, so you kind of have the choice of going up and around it, through, and I think you guys had sort of talked about sticking close to the forest as much as you could. Is anyone currently doing anything? I know there were some questions that you had also for Calla. So just to set the scene, you guys are all on your... I think you gave Calla a horse of her own.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys are all on horse or mule back. With Chinook and the goat kind of trotting alongside you all.
How many
This is
days?
Oh, so go.
I'm just wondering how many days it'll take to get to Mornhold.
Um,
I think if we went in a straight line, we were supposed to get there today, but if we're gonna go around, I don't know.
and then, yeah, it'd be like you get there pretty much in the middle of the night if you go straight. Like if you go around and get there, it'll be like the middle of the night.
We definitely don't want to do that because I'm assuming it will be closed and will look hella sus.
Weird. Yeah.
And then you might end up camping like outside of the city, which also might be weird.
I don't know. It might be easier for me to get in at night.
And what, you just meet us somewhere?
Possibly.
And we could always skirt and just take an extra day, come in at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Send Leif ahead maybe to scout some places in the dark.
You could.
Well, what exactly are your plans when you get there? Oh, you told me that I shouldn't ask too many questions, and the less I know, the better. I get that, but I kind of meant that in a broader sense, not in a whatever your secrets are sense.
No, I think I'd like, if it's all right with everyone else, to find us a tavern or an inn to stay in. I won't tell you why, but I think I would like one that maybe some of the soldiers like to visit. If you could point me in that direction. Or at least a neighborhood.
Well, mostly you'll want to stay in the field wards for that sort of thing. At least the ones that aren't, that are, how do you say it, more loose-lipped.
Good to know.
Anywhere else in particular that you enjoy going? That the regulars tend to go to? Popular places?
Well, if you're looking for a tavern specifically and some place to stay, I'd go to the Bronze Fist in the field ward. I would go more north if you're looking for the military type. The common folk tend to stay closer to the south there.
Vixx, you said the Bronze Fist?
Yes.
Buttons.
But like I said, I like to hang around the trade ward. That seems to be... They're more my type there. Pretty easy to blend in the trade ward. Everyone kind of goes there, so you don't really stick out for looking a little bit different, but you do have to kind of get there first.
How do you get to the trade ward?
Well, it's kind of in the center. So Mornhold is kind of like a big ring, and near the center you'll find the trade board, which goes straight through. There is access from all of the cardinal towers. That's in the north, east, west, and south. But on the outsides, you have the field ward to the east, and then you have the military ward to the north. And then on the west, you have the arcane ward. And then to the south, you have Glimmerfall, which is where all the higher ups sort of live. Well, not really higher ups, like in terms of power, but like wealth.
What sort of government is in Mornhold? Like, who runs it?
Oh, well, Mornhold's kind of like our military center. So, though there is someone who is in charge of it, it is also like the military there have the biggest sway. It kind of goes like the top of the military, Savoran soldiers, local guards. But, I mean, are you looking to cause trouble with some of the nobles? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I feel like it is something we should know. Who the nobles are in the city.
Well, oh wow. I guess I'm really gonna have to teach you guys kind of everything then, right?
Maybe you could start from the beginning. Greetings, salutations, bows. Any of that?
Oh, like you're looking for something to like blend in then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, everyone here kind of dresses pretty well, even the ones who are working all day, but their stuff is kind of marked with soot and dirt, even if it does look nice and fancy.
So we might need something new once we get into town.
Is Alina still wearing the mage garb?
No, I had changed back into like a plain blue dress.
She's going to point to Leif. Definitely need a new outfit. Points to Nyra. Nyra, what is Nyra wearing currently?
I mean, she has a chain shirt under her clothes, which she's definitely wearing like deserty themed things.
Definitely
the heavy cloak.
Going to stick out if you don't come in from the east. She's gonna point at Raelynn and then Alina. You two might just be able to add some sort of, and she's going to like dig around in her satchel, and she starts pulling out like just a bunch of different types of jewelry. She's like, I feel like if you just got the right accessories or something, you would probably blend in pretty well. Points at Vale. I don't think he'll need any help.
And in character, Alina will laugh out loud.
Don't badmouth any of the Forgebound. That kind of talk can get you in trouble real fast.
What is a Forgebound?
Oh boy. She's going to, yeah, she kind of thinks about how to describe them. You guys don't know what, like, they're like metal creatures. An automaton? You know what that is?
Do
Would
we
we know?
DM?
Do I know what that is?
You've definitely heard of that, but you've never seen it put to picture before.
What purpose do they serve in Mornhold?
They're kind of the working class there, really. And we have people kind of who are under them, keeping them going. It's some of them are guards, some of them are working at workshops, most of them are working at workshops. It's just a lot quicker and they don't have to sleep, so
Do they have sentience?
People treat them like they do. I've never really talked to one. But I also don't really know how this sort of stuff works. I have never studied magic. I've never had interest in studying magic, so. But even if you badmouth the kind of cruddy looking ones, people will notice that.
Okay.
I'd also, I'd recommend not looking too surprised when you see them either.
That's fair.
What else? If you're gonna be asking questions, you should always make sure that you have something to offer in return. Knowledge is worth something here, always. People like to know things. Whether you have coin, information of your own, a rumor you heard, or some company to offer. There's a certain exchange. And I don't know how quick with words you guys like to be, but I would speak with certainty, not confidence. Make sure that whatever you say, you have something to back it up, even if it's not something that's precisely true. You wanted to know greetings. If somebody says wire's tight, you should always say how you're feeling. It's pretty much what that means. Are you okay? Are you good? That's usually what people ask after a long day at work. But for the most part, you guys are kind of lucky in where you guys are heading to first, because Mornhold is kind of a big melting pot of people coming and going all the time. So at least up here, I don't think you'll run into too much trouble.
Have you seen an influx of people coming and going?
Yeah, they seem to be wanting a lot more people working these days. So a lot of people are getting temporary work permits right now.
Well, that's good to know.
Do you need a work permit for anything?
Anything that you're gonna stick around in the city for.
Do you need a permit to get into the city?
There's kind of a different. It depends on what you're going in there for. There's these little tokens. They're called residency tokens. They have this the symbol of Mornhold on them, little castle with an eye. Those kind of signal that you live there and you don't get questioned much when you flash one of those going in. Then there's trade permits, like what I need to have a stall set up in the trade ward. There's also any number of like military emblems will get you through the gate as well.
And what if you want to be one of the skilled laborers that you just mentioned? People that they're bringing in.
That'll be a paper like I don't know how to exactly describe it. She's gonna pull out a little kind of maybe like 4x6 piece of paper, parchment that looks pretty official. There's like signatures on both sides, and there's a seal for Mornhold on one corner that is red, and it says her name on it. So I guess now you know that she is probably not lying to you about who she is. And it seems to have like a little symbol on the left bottom corner that has like a little scale on it, and it seems to be signed by 3 different people. I think they're kind of like this, but they obviously have different, and she points to the trade symbol on it, different symbols on
Could
it.
you
I would
describe the
suppose.
different symbols?
I might be able to at least give a pretty awful sketch of one.
Dan, would I be able to take what she has and then in talking to her and then talking with us on what we might want to pose as, use my forgery kit to make us papers?
Probably like between the stuff that she is telling you about it.
I think I could do a pretty good job at making papers for us to help us get inside easier. Depends on what we want to pose as. Doesn't all have to be the same.
Trade ward would get us in the center, though, which would make it easier to get to the other areas. It might be hard to figure out to know what the symbols are for the others if she's not seen them, but maybe we could come across one.
What about for
later.
something like a bard? Would they need a particular permit to get in and perform?
That would probably fall under the... actually, because they kind of travel around with us, there have been some bards that do have the trade symbol on it, especially during this time of year with the festival coming up. But that would be a work permit. Usually those ones would be a permanent come and go sort of thing if you're constantly coming in and out of Mornhold. I don't know if they would do the temporary ones for them. I don't really hang around with many bards outside of the caravan, so...
Well, it sounds
Calla,
like I've got some work to do.
I was going to say, if we were willing to do the trade route, would you be willing to vouch for us as we go through? We are with you?
She's gonna like think about it, but I think any of you who have like a not awful insider perception kind of see her glancing occasionally at Raelynn, like she's not actually thinking that hard, and she's kind of just drawing out the moment a bit, and she goes, yeah, I think I could do that. But I mean, you kind of told me that you didn't want me to know too much about what you were doing so that I wouldn't get in trouble. And now I'm kind of being implicated to be like a sponsor to you. So,
well, I can make us our own permits. Help us get through the gates.
At the very least,
to take some of the pressure off you, Calla.
Could you let us look at yours for a more accurate representation of this permit?
Well, are we taking some time before we get there? Because if you guys have time to spare, I could definitely do so.
Well, I think we'd probably want to spend another night before. I don't think we want to arrive at the city overnight. We couldn't get in anyways. So we could stop early this evening.
Well,
take time getting our things in order.
One thing though, if we're posing as merchants, We don't have a lot of merchandise.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean merchant, I thought. Just dealing in skilled labor. Anything from bard to hard work. Am I incorrect, Calla?
Well, for this kind of permit specifically, you would have to have something. Though, like I said, some of the bards that I traveled with did have trade certificates too, so.
Maybe we're offering services.
Mm-hmm.
That could work. As long as it's not something that you would need to do over a long period of time. Like, I don't think that they would count a laborer as a trade service unless you could do something in a really short amount of time.
Move boxes for the trade. Help unload carts.
I suppose you
Set up
could be with a
stalls?
caravan if
Mhm.
But there is a town just south of here. The caravan I travel with isn't the only caravan. It's just the biggest one. Maybe you could get legitimate work. People kind of need it right now.
Would Velgard be easier to get into than Mornhold?
Oh, it's like I would say maybe 100 people live there.
Hmm.
It's a pretty small place.
Would we be able to get some new clothes there?
Maybe. I haven't really tried to shop there before. I'll be honest.
Well, we're planning a night out anyway. It'd probably be safer to stay in a village of some sorts. Maybe see if anyone's heading to Mornhold.
If not, perhaps just buying something to
Goods.
sell. Yeah.
I do have some things we could sell, but that's not enough to be a trade person. Also, I probably would be strange coming from the west, because it's silks from the desert.
Your markings in here kind of give you away a bit. I feel like if
Can't be
you
helped.
maybe had some makeup or something that could cover some of them up in a hood.
I've got something.
Maybe. I'm not sure what. They're kind of like fire. We try covering them.
Well, would it be easier if we came in from the east then? If we were traveling with you?
I mean, we could try covering it up. I've never tried before. It's not a thing we do.
Isheril disapproves.
My father cries silently somewhere.
It's fortune
Perfect.
telling, anything that you can spot in Saveth.
Oh.
We dressed up Nyra like a fortune teller and I lent her my cards.
Definitely. I mean, the Seeker is pretty well revered here, and people kind of interpret knowledge in a lot of different ways, and that is one of them. Are you a fortune teller?
I've dabbled in cards. No, not officially.
I guess they don't need to know that it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
People believe what they want.
And it's easy to know what to say when you know what they're really hoping for. And you can listen in.
I do know a spell. If I used your cards, I could give people some fortune with it.
Just saying, it could be a way to disguise you with capes and cloaks and an aura of mystery.
I will put my attire in your hands. I request no blue, though.
Promise.
It doesn't go well with the red.
I'm finally getting to return the favor for how you helped me dress appropriately.
You do not have a brother to walk in on me, at least.
Well, I do. He's just very far away.
So then do we plan to go to the town? The village in the south?
If we have to spend the night out anyway, it's not far off, according to the map.
Yeah. I think getting clothes there rather than changing who we are once we get to Mornhold will make the permits easier. It'll give me a place with a little bit better light if I can hole up in a room and work on them.
All right.
We have some golds. We could just act as visitors.
Again, if there's anything to purchase that we can then sell, we won't be coming in empty-handed.
Maybe we'll get lucky and there's a caravan going through that needs extra help.
We do have an extra horse we could sell.
We're loaded full of items.
Or get the cart.
All right, so you guys are heading on south then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're still
Surprise,
interested.
we didn't mention that in our plans to you today.
He's the one who suggested it.
Right.
Nyra still wants to know who the nobles are
Oh,
around
okay.
here too.
Yeah. She'll get back to you on it then. So as you guys are heading south, kind of dawns on her that she never really finished answering Nyra's question after asked about how to blend in better. So over the course of like the next half an hour to an hour, she's giving you guys kind of the rundown on like things, and she's probably just throwing terms out there that you guys kind of have to stop her on periodically. And she goes, well, I've heard that a lot of people think that we are a monarchy. We're not really a monarchy, though. It's kind of like a sort of figurehead sort of thing. That would be Queen Lysana Vea. She is also known as the Radiant Crown.
Can you, please?
Yeah, I will just throw out all of the names as I'm saying them
I appreciate it.
We love that.
into our chat. And
The
you guys-
Radiant Queen.
Yeah. She kind of just does like civilian morale sort of things during, well, times like this, I guess, where people find that things are feeling a little bit unstable. She kind of does like all of the sort of ceremonial state sort of blessings. Anytime we have some sort of grand revealing of something, she's there. But really, the people empowered, that would be the Silver Council. They're 6 High Chancellors. They kind of like a voting / also definitely based on merit sort of hybrid sort of thing. You kind of need to be both capable and also have some connections. If you don't have both, you won't make it anywhere. But in Volkoss, that would be Chancellor Mervarn. I'm gonna turn on chat there. He kind of like does all of the military stuff, any defense policies we have, tactical planning. He's at the top of that, and you'll find him in Mornhold. Well, maybe you're not looking for him though, so right. Then in Jairus, we have Chancellor Holden Lott. In Evosia, we have Isera Balin. Andalos, we have Brienne Entar. Zarden, we have Tanner Delgrain. And in Vaeltharis, Matthew Dayrune. and they're all kind of like they kind of run everything, but they're also kind of not the final say because it's kind of open here. We try to involve everybody. Yeah, that's kind of it. But what else do you want to know?
What's your favorite part about living here?
Oh, I guess I've never really felt shut down when I've tried to broaden my horizons out here. Maybe that's a thing that everyone experiences, though. I've never been to where you live.
It's a lovely notion.
There's a lot of problems, of course, you know, but
There's problems
that-
everywhere.
that's what I was gonna say. It's home here, and I don't really have family, but every time I reconnect with the caravan, it feels like family. So
Home's wherever you put roots are.
I like that. I'm gonna steal that one too.
Oh, by all means. It's yours.
Do you spend most of your time in Volkoss?
Oh no, not really. Just mostly when it starts to get cold out. The moonflower. Oh shoot! She kind of like. I didn't get everything I needed. It looks like a little.
Is there any more on our path, or would you have to go back?
It only grows up in the mountains, and I don't think that's a good idea right now.
Doesn't seem very safe.
How much time do you have until?
Well, I was supposed to meet everyone in Mornhold in a few days. I suppose I could just meet them there at the lake if I spent some more time. Of course, I would have to drop you guys off at Mornhold and then kind of backtrack. And she's like, now kind of like planning that out in her head.
If you didn't need to go back to Mornhold, we could leave from Belgard.
If you guys think you'll be okay.
You've been such a help to us, and I wouldn't want to. This is an important festival to you. So I do worry about your safety and what's lurking in the mountains.
I think she looks at Vael for a moment and kind of like recalls the conversation that they had during their watch, and she goes, well, I think I'll be okay in that regard. But I can at least get you guys to town.
And we can put you up for the night. It's the least we can do.
Oh, I haven't slept in a room on the inside of a building, and
If you're uncomfortable, then that's okay. Your tent seems nice.
It is. It's very nice. And then Goat also gets to go in my tent, so I probably won't take you up on that, but maybe a nice meal.
That we can do.
Yes.
I think as you guys like continue walking, she has some questions of her own too. She's just like, so you guys really don't have like you don't use the kind of magic we use here? Like kind of, I don't really know how magic works to begin with, but I've only ever really seen it here. And you seem to not know how we use magic, so I'm curious about yours.
From what we've seen, it would seem to be different. But we also haven't done much investigating into how magic's used here.
Oh, well, we do you guys have Leybeacons there?
No.
She looks even more confused by that.
That wouldn't be a deep well into a ley line, would it?
No, it's more like a big crystal tower that kind of is really big and not in the ground. Well, I guess it is in the ground. I don't know how deep it goes, to be honest.
No.
I get my power from Isharel.
The god?
Yes, I'm a cleric. When you devote yourself to a deity, sometimes they grant you powers. I feel like Vael would immediately be like, I get mine from my blood, my dragon blood.
I was born with it.
I was born this way.
My
Maybe
magic
it's
in my
blue.
hair.
It's all in the hair.
I'm not really sure about Alina. It's just her personality, I think. She's honed it so well.
They seemed really scared of you back
I know,
there.
it was kind of fun.
Is that a common thing?
With soldiers lately.
They don't seem to understand our magic, and it frightens them the way that some people use it.
I've spent more time working on being charming than scary, though. Fear can be its own source of power.
I always find that really funny when they start talking about how you guys are, I don't know, like primitive, and yet we're kind of taught here to be open-minded, seekers, knowledge, all of that. You'd think they would want to know how you guys use magic, right?
I think they found a way to use magic and didn't bother to look into anything else.
I do know that there are people here who or at least they attribute their magic to gods, but they still do the same things that the mages do. They put it back where they got it.
We don't touch the ley lines. We let them rest as they are.
Everything here's been touched by the ley lines of... Do you guys want to see one of the crystals?
Do you have one of the crystals?
Oh no, not on me. They're like 50 feet tall.
Is there one in Velkard?
No, but so they kind of have them so that it takes like a day to get to each one. So from Mornhold to Thin Harbor, there's one right between, nestled south of the Umberwoods. It's on the way, sort of. We would have to go a couple hours out of the way to see it.
Would they let us?
I don't think there's anyone really there.
Oh,
They just
is it?
dot landscape?
Sort of. Some
What
of them.
purpose do they serve? Are they like an amplifier or?
Yeah, it's like it's like it covers a certain radius of magic.
I think it would be good to see it. To understand what they've done.
Do your spellcasters, and I'm sorry if I get this wrong because I don't do magic, but do your spellcasters require components or sigils or anything, or do these crystals then serve that purpose?
Okay, so that's the weird thing. Some of them do and some of them don't.
Oh,
It's like some of them it comes more naturally, and then some of them they need books, items, but all of them are a bracelet. I think it helps them with whatever they need to do to get the magic back where it belongs, like I said.
We've seen some of those. Maybe
Did
we
we
can. We have like 3.
perfect.
That's
All 3 of
your
you spellcasters should wear them just in case.
Well, first I'd like to see what they do with this beacon, how they interact.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wouldn't want it to interfere with our magic.
Yes, but you wouldn't want to cast magic without wearing one. That would draw suspicion as well.
Well, Mr. Lightning Hands over here. I think mine's a bit more subtle.
I mean, Vale has subtle spells, so I think
Yeah.
his might be pretty subtle.
He's pretty subtle.
Just not when he wants to be not subtle.
it's most of the time.
When he knows
His
that there's going to
casting
be
is
no
usually
witnesses left.
Yeah.
All right, well, I can take you to one. Like I said, I don't think there's anyone there. People do stay there sometimes, but I don't see why they would be doing that right now in the middle of a war. No one really cares to go to Thin Harbor, if I'm being honest.
All right. Can I insight check if this actually means no one's she doesn't expect people to be there?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm so insightful, guys.
Raelynn, you've grown up around a lot of politicians, people who are always hiding something. You are at least used to knowing some signs of deceit or playing dumb to some degree. Probably most particularly when you're interacting with Sonia or Varric. And when you try to read her, she seems genuine. But she also seems like she genuinely doesn't know if there are people there.
Gonna
You
fight.
don't get any bad vibes or weird gut feelings about her.
Again, you don't have to lie if you don't know anything. You said it's about halfway between Thin Harbor and Mornhold?
Yeah.
Okay, this is me asking above table because I was finally got to pull up the map.
Yeah. It would be, she said south of Umberwoods and halfway between Thin Harbor and Mornhold.
They're not too far off.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Callie.
it's worth the detour.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean when you say they put the magic back in?
They go like this. Kind of just swipe their hand. They use the bracelets in front of the big crystal thing, and I don't really know what that means, but that's what I've been told they're doing. Replenishing the earth.
Mm. Mm.
We can do a bit of study before we head to Veilguard tonight.
Yes.
I kind of gotta ask, she looks at Alina, you seem to know things about me that I didn't say out loud.
I'm sorry. I tend to poke about when I don't know if I can trust someone.
Oh, that's fair. I would if I could, I guess.
I mean, you can read
No,
people's
if this will make you
orders.
feel any better, but it was only surface level. I didn't dig any deeper.
Wait, what did Raelynn say?
Oh, sorry. She said, well, you can read people's auras, so that should kind of like give you a good vibe check on people.
Well, I guess I was mostly just, is that like something you can just do?
Yes.
I will be sure to watch my thoughts then.
Don't worry, it's not an all the time thing.
And yeah, I don't have any bad vibes about you guys. She looks at Raelynn when she says that. And then she kind of glances also at Leif like a second later. I think you guys are all right. Maybe just tied up in a lot of stuff from back home.
You can sense that through an aura?
Well, I just mean that you're out here doing some pretty shady things, but I'm not getting a bad vibe about you.
Fair.
You're loyal to where you live, then, all of you.
Yes.
Leif.
I'm loyal
our-
to my family.
I had to think about it.
To our people.
Leif
To our
goes, hold on,
people.
no, come back to me.
Where I live, yes. Where I live, yes. I am loyal to where I live.
Our people, our lands.
You didn't really seem too sure about that. She looks at Leif pretty pointedly.
Yep.
Home
man
can be
of few
complicated.
Home is complicated. The place is magnificent.
Oh. That explains it.
I think you would like Tirshani. You should visit the desert someday.
Oh. What would I be? She kind of like gestures to her clothing. Would I be comfortable in this?
It
She
is
might,
warm. You may need to lose a couple layers. It is warm. Except at night, it can get cold.
what's the most surprising part of the desert?
Sand cools very fast.
I could imagine just living somewhere where it was always sandy.
The roads are pushed down. They're easy to walk on.
And the food is wonderful.
I think your goat would like the desert lilies instead of the moonflowers. Save them for you.
I think at that symbol lets out a little bleh, and he's like, you can see a little bit of a petal kind of like disappearing into his mouth, and she's just like, we're low on those. Where did you get that?
He's sneaky.
Alright, so you guys continue south for another few hours. You guys note that you start kind of like veering off as you follow like the edge of the woods. You start kind of veering off a little bit west now. How many hours would that take you? 1, 2. Yeah, so it's like midday now, and as you start to head around south of the Umber Woods, is there anything anyone is doing during that time?
Just keeping an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, roll me some perception in the tower, please.
I think I'm going to let them handle perception, and I'm going to be studying the work permit.
Okay. Can you roll? What is it for forgery kit?
Roll
Is it
for work
sleight of
permit.
hand?
Yeah, sleight of hand would work.
Okay. Is that one okay to be in the open?
Sure.
Ooh.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Then I'll actually attempt to make them safe in a secure room that night. But right now it's just like studying, committing to memory.
Yeah. You kind of in the back of your mind are like trying to get the right like wrist movements to do certain inflections on some of the names that you're seeing, which are like you could barely make it up, and now that you know the person who is in charge of Volkoss, you definitely know like an M and a V in one of the signatures, and that one seems to be on the center line. There's like 3 signatures below her name. Leif, you kind of get caught up in your thoughts about how complicated home is. As
I'll make a perception check one day.
Yeah. You're not terrible at it.
No,
You're just,
it's a +5 at level 4 is pretty good.
you're rolling not great though. Especially because you could still see the mountains as well, kind of looming over, still kind of connecting you with Kaldbor at the moment.
Need to get those on the beyond the horizon.
Need to get lost in these woods a little bit.
Yep.
But this like sort of trail that you're following, it's kind of just an area where there's not as much like trees. There's a lot of like there's a lack of a bunch of shrubs kind of getting in your way, so it's a little bit more open. And as you continue on, Nyra's the first one to notice this, that the trees start to grow like less dense where she's leading you toward. And you feel this strange hum in the air that feels magical in a sense. Kind of like the way the ground beneath your feet at the farm in Kaldbor felt. You see a little bit of a ridge coming up, and just as you're like going down, you notice this sort of, it almost looks like a, for lack of a better word, like a camp. You see that there is a long log cabin. It looks to have about 5 or 6 windows at the back. And then just off to the side of it is a sort of L-shaped log cabin. And outside of it, you can see a fire pit that is unlit, and there is a little overhang just outside of one of the doors leading in that has a table. Everything seems empty, but at the center of this, you also see just the tip right now of a shard of blue crystal that juts out over the tree line. It's, as she said, maybe 40, 50 feet high. And you can see just, because it's bright out right now, you only see like a dim sort of light emitting from the center of it. But she continues leading
I'll
you.
ask her when we see the cabins. Calla, is this for people who come make a pilgrimage, or is there a keeper?
Oh, well, there is a custodian there. I don't think that there'll be of much trouble, though. She seems like she's trying not to smile when she says that. But in terms of people, this is kind of like, I guess, where all of the people who use magic kind of stop off and do whatever they do with the crystals, putting their magic back where it belongs.
By custodian, do you mean a person or a Forgebound?
That would be a Forgebound. These ones are a little bit... they're a little bit bigger than the normal ones in the city. They need to protect and maintain the Leybeacon here. So as long as you don't, come and shatter it, I think you'll be fine.
Better we look at one here than in the city. No surprises.
Is my... If I feel under my shirt, is my little crystal doing anything?
That is a good question. At the moment, it's almost like you're trying to pay too close attention and you're like tricking yourself into like, did I feel something? Like at the moment, it doesn't feel like anything, but you are also still quite a distance away from this.
Okay.
As you kind of continue to close the distance, you kind of have to go down a little bit and then cut through some sparse trees that are in the area. And as you do so, you see that at the base of this crystal, there is a bunch of dark stone masonry and about a knee-high chain fence that surrounds it. And when I say chain, I don't mean like chain link, like there's a post and then a big thick chain, then another post, and it keeps going around like that. And the base of it is about 10 by 10 feet. 10 by 10. Mm-hmm.
That's approximately the same size as the holes in the ground, what we saw?
Yes, it is. You also see that there is some sort of like 10 by 10 and like 20-foot tall gazebo that, as you kind of like come around this like small bit of trees and it clears out of your view, it's like a stone hut sort of thing, and there's a small cluster of crystals that kind of crown the very like top point of it, and it echoes with a similar blue hue. And as soon as you notice that, Nyra, you do feel a little bit of resonance from the crystal that you have. And beneath this like open sort of roof with this like, it's kind of like a point and then 4 posts, and then underneath it, standing dormant, is a 10-foot tall automaton, a Forgebound with bluish silver metal, and it has like a it has like arcs of glass tubing at certain points in it and a smooth crystalline faceplate. It seems completely unaware that you're there, doesn't seem bothered as you approach.
As we get closer to the beacon, is it similar at all to that blue mineral I have in the vial?
Color-wise, a little bit, yeah. Like especially, so the blue mineral that you have felt like it was similar to something.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like if you took this sort of crystal and mixed it with a different thing, you could get that same color.
Okay. But it doesn't seem like the vial is like shavings of this kind of crystal or anything.
No.
Okay.
Both Vale and Raelynn would immediately notice the type
Nice
of
to meet 'em.
metal.
I was just
Yeah.
going to ask that. Yeah.
Remind me the name of that metal again? Tempest iron?
Tempest iron.
And Nyra and Leif, who are still kind of looking out for things.
Attempting to.
Seems like the camp is pretty vacant. There's not even any embers of this in this fire pit. All of the doors on everything is closed. You can see even as you were getting closer that a lot of the windows had their curtains drawn back, and it didn't seem like there was anyone inside. And you kind of look around on the ground, and there's no like recent tracks going through here either. And she goes, well, there it is.
I'd like to take the bracelet up to the beacon, and I want to maybe make an Arcana check or something to see if I can kind of figure out how to interact, like what's going on between these two.
Okay. Roll me an Arcana check. That could be out in the open if you want.
I would like to use an inspiration.
Good call. Good. Not
Itty bitty bit better.
Yeah, not awful. So what can you describe to me what Alina is doing, considering that this thing has a sort of fence around it and a stone platform kind of leading up to it as well? Actually, I'm just going to show you guys because I do have a map of this.
Yay!
So it's like Stonehenge where you can't actually get up and touch it?
You can, but you do have to
Okay.
go over a fence. So I'm
You
just
can
trying
get
to
up to Stonehenge and touch it. You just have to be brave enough.
Fast enough.
They have like one pillar off to the side that people are allowed to touch. At least when I went.
sunlight.
And if I'm having trouble with it, I don't know if this will give me a chance to roll again. It might not, because this is kind of a pretty meh roll. I would even put the bracelet on and cast a cantrip.
Ooh, bold.
So
See what would happen.
you are you're coming up to this without the bracelet on at first.
Yeah, I want to see if I can feel like a resonance between them.
Okay.
If I can kind of like figure out what their magical connection is. Because she talked from her perspective as a non-magic user. They return the magic in. So I'm trying to figure out like what is going on here?
That's what's getting me. I'm like sitting here like, what are they putting in?
And
Life essence? Like what?
I'll look back at Nyra and be like, you've got me, right? Before I like slide the bracelet on and like cast a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
Don't let me die in this pursuit of curiosity.
It's like, no, but you did just give the tower 6 months.
This is cool.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Interesting.
that's cool. Okay, so I'd like really have to climb over the fence.
Yeah, you have to like get on in
Mm.
there.
Okay.
That might be when we get in trouble with the
I'll ask
Forgebound.
Calla. I'll say, Calla, do they normally go all the way up, or do you like stand at the fence and like?
I've never seen them do this one. In the city, they normally just walk right up to it, but it's like kind of on a like a face of a building. So,
Let's not wake up our new Forgebound friend. I'll try from here, and I am gonna
as you're standing there, like trying to figure out, you do feel the same resonance. Everyone here does. You feel it in the air. It's pretty powerful, which, if they work the way that Calla said they work, kind of makes sense. It's trying to emit magic further, in a sense. Nothing happens at first. While you're not wearing the bracelet, so do you then try that?
Yeah, I'll put the bracelet on, and I'll just. I don't want to use.
You don't have to use anything, because as soon as you're standing there with the bracelet on,
I'm getting bad Wheel of Time vibes from this. I'm gonna get collared or something. Okay, go on.
Remind me, you guys were wearing those bracelets before, while you were posing as while you were posing at the.
Yeah, it would have been enough time
point.
to attune, if that's what you're getting at.
It counts for something. I'm not going to tell you what, but as soon as you do that, it's almost like you feel the same feeling that you feel when you're casting the magic that you've cast. It's almost like you get a brush of that through you, and it goes straight to the bracelet, and there's like a bit of a light from the bracelet and then from the crystal, and then you don't feel anything for a second. It's just like a sudden surge of power went through you.
So it feels like it feels when I cast a spell, as if it had just like leached one out?
Yes, similar to that. That's what it feels like to you.
Is the ground discolored in both places, or is that just...
That's kind of like the radius of the light at the moment. There's like just a soft glow coming off of it.
Well, Alina?
It felt like it pulled magic from me.
Do you feel weaker?
Do I feel weaker?
You don't feel weaker, but it does feel like...
Does it feel like I'm down a spell slide?
No.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like you quickly recovered something and then lost it.
Curious.
I'm not going to speak for Vael, so I won't get him to do that.
No, I'm like, Vael, do it. Do it. But
I think Nyra
I want
wants
player
to
autonomy.
get close as possible.
Okay.
She's not going to cross the line. But she's going to... Oh, can I just move myself? Yay. She's just going to get up there and just like sit down on the ground and ask Isharel for a little blessing while she tries to commune a little with... I'm going to say sort of a prayer to Aurum, just to get like a vibe from him, the world shaper, the earth god. Like, is he like cool with this? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Does this upset him?
All right. roll like a religion check.
I cast it and send myself with Cheryl. Blessing, please.
Yes, vibe check at 3rd level.
Vibe check. I don't have 3rd level, or else I'd be messaging my brother. Okay, that's this, and then a D4. It's so weird watching them roll in that thing.
When Nyra prays to Ishrel, there is you guys see like this slight glow in the beacon. But Nyra doesn't feel anything that feels like Alina felt. And then shortly after, as she's trying to get a feel for Orin and how they might feel, especially because she's had the sense already that he was sad almost. And Vael has had a similar experience. You kind of try to tap into that same feeling, and it feels oddly devoid. You've had moments in your life where you prayed to Ishrel and you're like, I'm not sure if he heard me. And that's kind of what that feels like in that moment.
I think that makes her feel worse about this whole thing. I don't know.
I'd like to take the bracelet back off.
It
It comes off fine?
Yep.
Okay.
What if one of you who don't have magic try it?
I mean, I'll try it.
I knew you would leave.
I'll hand over
Rather
my
than
bracelet
jumping in
to
a
you.
hole.
You can't let you jump in the hole, but
This is the next best thing, I guess. Yeah, I'll pop that bracelet right on and walk up to it.
Calla is following. She can't look over your shoulder, but if she could, she would. And she's just like leaning, like trying to see what will happen because she's never really seen a bracelet like this being passed around so freely between people. So you walk up, you just kind of stand there to see if you feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You stand there. It doesn't glow. You don't feel anything being pulled from you.
While Leif is wearing it, I want to cast a message at him and see if him like receiving magic. Or even like casting a spell without the bracelet but still by it is like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll walk 40 feet away and I'll cast a message at you.
You see again the beacon lights up as you
I did something.
cast the message, and
Do
then
I still feel that same weird pull and drain?
no.
Okay.
And then the bracelet also, if you do feel something, it's almost like a weird I don't even know how to describe this to it's almost like too much like sound waves almost come around your wrist, but then it just doesn't really do anything. It doesn't glow the way that it did for Alina.
I tried to do something. That felt weird, man. It's almost like I was trying to do something.
Callie, do the Forgebound speak? Can they converse?
Well, some of them can. Some of usually they say the same things over and over again.
Such as?
It depends where you are. Some of them
Hmm.
ask you if you want a drink. Some of them ask you if you've checked in for work. Some of them just yell the name of a market stall over and over again until you come over and buy stuff from the market stall.
They
Some of
sort
them
of
tell you to get out of the ward that you're currently in.
Oh. I don't
You want it back?
I'll put it in my bag. This has only increased my unease about it.
Can I ask why?
It pulls magic in a strange way.
Well, I mean, if they're giving their magic back to Earth, wouldn't it have to do something like that?
Yeah, but I don't think that's how magic is supposed to work.
I worry about what's getting put in to the ley lines.
Oh. Like if, like if someone put too much water in some ale and it became no good anymore.
That, or if somebody purposely put poison in the ale.
Do you think that has something to do with what you were telling me I might have to worry about with people getting sick?
The person we talked to assumed or was told that people were getting ill quickly because they used the ley lines. It was something coming from that. And they blamed it on something that made no sense in my mind. If you're getting sick from using something, then you should look at the thing you're using to cause the problem.
Well, we kind of built everything here on the ley lines. That would be a really hard thing to give up.
Yes.
It would be. I mean, that's why they're fighting so hard for more. We shouldn't linger too long. She get to Velgard before dark.
I think Calla goes a little bit like unusually quiet and thought at that, but she does nod and she starts to get back to where the horses were. She has to stop and then get her goat out of like a little bush that it seems to have found something to chew on, though, and she's not scolding it like she usually does, though. Just kind of brings it along. It's on her horse.
Calla, is there anything else you want from us? Information and trade? You said here that knowledge is valuable enough that you must give something in return. And you brought us here, and that was quite valuable.
I think I've learned a lot today.
You all right?
I think it was good that I helped you guys. So I just don't know what that means, though. Sorry, what was Raelynn gonna say?
I was going to say, while they're all doing the magic thing, Raelynn kind of stood by the automaton just in case A, it came alive and started attacking, but B, she would have liked to walk around it if she could, to try and see, because she knows about Tempest Iron and its benefits and things like that. And since this one's not moving, it gives her a better opportunity to study it. And she's just wondering if there's like weak points that don't potentially have Tempest Iron, that if we do eventually have to deal with one of these, focus on that kind of stuff, or on-off switches, or I don't know how this magic works.
So there's definitely things that you will immediately notice just looking at it, but if you want to do like a additional roll, if you want to,
Sure. Out in the open or in tower?
You can do it out in the open.
Not good. 5. I'm so useful, guys.
Wait, you have an inspiration you can use?
Let's use that. Let's use that.
Okay.
Better. 17.
Nice.
As you're walking around this, you see it's very. You've seen a lot of very well-crafted weapons, especially anything that you've laid your eyes on that have Tempest Iron. Like your armor is very. It's as if it that sort of metal kind of really reacts well to very skilled metalsmiths, and this whole automaton is kind of like everything is very smooth and art, and you do see this glass tubing that goes like underneath it a little bit. You notice that the glass tubing is, you would probably be able to smash it, and it's very exposed at like certain joints. So like at the back of the knee, where the elbow, the inner elbow would be, and also like at like the top of what could be the spine as well. You also notice as you're like looking at this closer, there seems to be something on the right and left wrist that is like an opening. The tubes lead down to it, like as if something might be sprayed out of it. And you notice a bit of residue that looks very similar to one of the vials that Alina has been showing. It's like a bluish sort of color.
Once they're all done their little experimentation and we kind of get back to the horses, I'll fill everyone in on what I noticed. So they're all up to par.
Does that seem like a defense mechanism? Or is it like a gardener? And it just like sprays it over the ground.
What do you mean?
He says it's got these tubes that connect to its wrist, and then there's a blue.
Yes, so the blue that Alina found that seemed magical, I don't think they would use that on their vegetation, seeing as there's not much here of the vegetation.
Yeah,
it seems more like a defense in case you potentially cross that chain.
So this blue stuff from the ley lines is toxic.
Without studying it, I don't know. I know the same as you. I guess I could wake it up, test for ourselves.
No, it's all right.
I was like, I don't think I want to see that.
Yeah, nor do I, to be honest.
No, it was just
Did you want to test
postulating
it?
possibilities.
Did you want to try and see if you could get a bit off of it? Touching it might wake it, though.
Right. No. It is resting. I'd rather it keep resting.
Same.
I think before too long we might have a chance to hear back. See what our friends have made of it.
Oh yes, you gave this to the sisterhood, didn't you?
To our friends. And I'll kind of like give her a...
Oh. It's just our group of girlfriends, clearly.
Oh, I wish I had a group like that.
Maybe you do now.
Yeah, apart from the men.
I'm part of the sisterhood.
Sure.
This one.
Oh, I gotta tell everybody back on camera.
Raelynn is trying so hard to be like,
This one.
backpedal.
Greg, that's good. Sisterhood of the Traveling Grooves. Oh, that
We wear pink on Wednesdays.
got
I couldn't even imagine the sisterhood just being full of people that were wearing pink on Wednesday.
I can, if we want tomorrow, I can check and see if it is any poison in it. The blue stuff.
You can do that?
Yes. Israel wishes to protect people from poison and disease.
I think she looks over at Leif. This Israel sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one.
Sorry, you
think
want
you-
to stay an extra day, Brittany?
No, in the morning, before we leave from Vaelthar, I can check.
Oh, you want to like come back?
Mm-hmm.
No, I meant the blue stuff. We have some. Oh, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we give it all away. Yeah, you're right.
No way.
To the not sisterhood.
Hey, and to your aunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I
why.
feel like I should check.
That's why Raelynn
Yeah.
was like, "Do you want to take a sample?" Because I know we don't have any.
That's why you were saying that.
Yeah.
I can't take a sample. I will say that.
Gonna quickly check what Vale can do.
What do we need? Someone to
Swab it.
swab
Swab
it delicately?
I mean, Raelynn will do it. She offered if you guys want her to, but
Or if this needs a delicate touch, I'll take
I
it.
don't know if we need to. What benefit would it gain us if we knew it was poison?
Well,
Other than to continue not to anger the Forgebound.
it'd
we
be
could-
something to watch out for in the city if they have these same attachments.
Or we
Well,
could
what
also
if your
just assume.
girlfriends don't know what it is, though?
It is possible.
be someone in
we knew what
town.
if we knew what it was, maybe we could develop some sort of defense.
I'd always have to have protection from poison prepared. That's fine. I don't use those spells. Thoughts.
My opinion, and this is a group that decides together, but would to be not to risk it, to wait for a potential answer, and just continue to make plans to not anger the Forgebound, so we don't have to discover whether it's poisoned or not. At least not
I
from
like that.
first-hand experience. We can
I
keep an eye
agree.
out to see if someone angers it.
I feel like just assume it's poison, and then you're always going to be prepared.
That's not a bad way to live your life.
We may be able to find information in the city about it if someone's willing to talk.
Mhm.
Someone who maintains it, maybe.
Or perhaps it
Yeah.
changes from automaton to automaton as well.
You'd want to look. I mean, I guess you could look in the arcane ward, but you might want to look in something like where they actually make them, like one of the factories there.
Where are the factories?
That would be in the field ward. Anything that's like labor, you'll find it there.
Are they one of the people hiring?
Probably. I don't really look for work if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And you said that tavern you recommended, the Bronze Fist, is in the field ward?
Yeah. Anywhere I like to hang out is either in the field ward or the trade ward. I've been to the Glimmerfall parties, and they're not really my thing. Everyone likes to talk about money, and I
Well,
don't.
Well, if we need someone to infiltrate, I think Wilbur would fit right in.
I'd love to check out the arcane ward, but it might be difficult, yes.
So right now we're kind of rationing out power. You're not allowed to use the lay grid unless they kind of shut it off between the midnight and like sunrise, and then about 2 hours in the middle of the day. And people tend to not want to. People tend to want to go and drink during those times, so you might find it a little bit easier to get around during those times.
A little easier to chat up people during those times as well.
Could you
Sorry,
say
the
those-
lay grid?
Yeah, Lygrid and David, what?
Could you say those times again?
The midnight and sunrise. So between midnight and sunrise, they shut it off. And also, she said 2 hours in the middle of the day. Just for your guys' reference, that'd be like from 12 to 2 p.m.
What is the lay grid?
That's what I
Oh, well,
wanted.
like this.
Oh.
Everything that's connected.
So does that mean people can't use magic at night, essentially? Or you're just
Or
not
there are other
supposed to?
things that run off magic.
Well, you can't.
Sorry, did it just thunder at someone's house?
That's fine. Yeah, there's a
Oh,
big
dang.
storm outside now.
Wow.
You can use magic. You can't put it back during those times, though, so they don't really like you to do that.
It doesn't. I don't know how magic works, but that doesn't make sense to me.
Are there other things continuously running on magic? Or is it literally just...
So that the thing that you have, I'm pretty sure that stores all the magic that you use. And then you put it back. And that kind of powers everything.
But if you use it, how does it store it?
Like, if I'm hungry and I eat a chicken leg, it's gone. I've used it. It's something else now.
Are they
Well,
stealing magic from those with magic to power?
Well, the lake crystal doesn't give you magic.
But you're giving it magic in order for it to run.
To give it back, you take it from everything, and she points to like Nyra. You take it from Mishra. You take it from, and she like points to Vale. Being amazing. You take it from something that makes everyone scared of you. But that comes from somewhere. You know, kind of like, do you know how rain works?
Yeah.
It's so dramatic.
She's gonna explain precipitation to you by like magic.
Use the water cycle here.
Yeah. But when you don't give it back anywhere until you die, I guess eventually you do give it back in some way.
But if you're not pulling it from the ley line, you're taking it from anywhere. Would it not then release to everywhere? Why do you have to give it back specifically to the ley lines?
Well,
How
how
are
do you
these
give it back to
crystals?
the air?
How do you draw it from the air?
I don't know. I'm not a magic user.
This just don't add up.
There's something more. There's something they're not telling people.
Oh, so creepy, Alina.
I'm jealous.
I know.
That might be something that you find out in the arcane ward.
Oh, I'm
There
definitely curious to explore.
So you won't be able to get what they're teaching the mages that you met on the road, I'm sure. There's still theories. There's still libraries.
You can find
accessible.
someone with a study book and distract them. A little drink and a little flirtation. Wouldn't be hard for them to lose a school book. But it's not the only way.
Well, you guys have been very creative with everything that you've done so far. I believe in you.
Calla, do you know any good Savern songs?
Oh, are you actually a bard? You keep talking about it. You're a bard.
I can play and I can sing.
It's gonna be a loud thunder in a minute.
Ooh, this sounds so nice.
If you wouldn't mind teaching me a few. The bawdier, the better, if that's what goes over well late at night in the taverns.
Late at night. Okay, got you.
Mhm.
So, she'll start. She'll start.
Mornhold
Teaching
favorites. Yeah.
Alina as
As we're
you
like
guys
writing
go.
to, yeah.
It seems to take her mind off things, but also it is after 8. So I think as you guys are heading towards Belgard and trying to, what you have plans to do some forgery, possibly get legit work as a caravan guard going that way. Moving some boxes was suggested several times.
Shopping for new outfit.
Getting some new clothing, perhaps. And I think, yeah, we'll take a bit of a break and come back to all of that. Mulling over the poor way that their guide, for the lack of a better word, Calla has translated how magic is used, even though she's never used magic before. Here in Savorin, they checked out a strange crystal called a Leybeacon. Raelynn investigated what Calla referred to as a custodian, which was a Forgebound or automaton here in Savorin, and they are now headed towards Belgard. They're going to try to spend the night there, gather some things that they need, maybe forge some documents, and yeah, you guys have a few more hours from where you were to this town. Do you want to skip ahead, or is there anything that you want to accomplish while you are riding and you have Calla in tow with you?
Raelynn would have asked what her aura looks like. I forgot to ask that. And is my version, like, is Raelynn's version of beautiful different than Leif's version of beautiful?
So you guys were walking and or riding, and Raelynn just kind of, the curiosity gets the better of her, and she needs to know what her aura looks like and if it differs from Leif's at all. Is everybody listening into this conversation as it's happening?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, oh, she looks at Alina. She told you about that. There's a little bit of a flush on her face, that just because she knows the exact words that she thought when she saw those two auras in particular. She's just like, oh, I don't want you to. Okay, that's not what you asked. So your aura is like. That's what she does. She goes, and she's like
if
looking
it's not
at you.
beautiful, you can tell me. It's okay.
No, that's not it. It's like that. It's like a breath of fresh air around you.
Oh.
There's like a softness to it. This might be embarrassing just telling you right now. The things that I say tend to not go well when I say them in a public setting. We're good? Okay.
Yeah. Raylynn's a little flush, like just a little, but she's like, no, it's okay.
So like, she looks at Nyra. Hers is very bright, but very distinct. Like I can see the shape of the brightness around it. And yours is just kind of like a soft glow. It's like something that could still be shaped into something.
Huh.
And how it differs from. She like looks at Leif. It is different. It's almost like the opposite. You guys are like the opposite of each other, but it's kind of charming in a way. It's like
And I'm like a breath of stale air.
no, it's okay. I should be
Do that.
very clear. It's not about the air at all. It's about the shape. That's not what I
I'm just
meant.
messing with you.
It's like you ever just find. Oh, it's gonna sound so stupid. You ever just find like a rock that's not like typically pretty, but like there's something about what it's made out of. You're kind of like rough and sturdy, but you're also not really shaped yet. Like you could still be carved into something. And I just think that's really... You guys aren't like kids. I see that in kids a lot, actually. But you're also not like naive, it seems, maybe. And I just think that's really cool that you held on to it for so long. And it'd be really interesting to see what your auras turn into.
So people's change over time.
Yeah, mine wasn't always what I see it to be now. It was kind of like a bunch of color and like a blob sort of thing until I kind of settled into what I am right now.
I
Oh
guess
god, wouldn't that be terrible if I told you about your aura? She's like pointing to Alina and it didn't change. That would be awful.
Raelynn laughs a little only because she knows what she's referring to because Alina told her,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like, "There's a chance."
Yeah, but I probably should say that when I tell people that I can see their aura, like, oh yeah, it could change. I just
What about
don't think
Vale's?
about
Is
it.
his solidified?
Yeah.
I didn't say Vale, I said Wilbur in character.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm totally okay. She goes, yeah, his is like so sure. I'm sure Vale seems like not surprised by that at all, but
I don't think
is
any of us
like
are surprised by that either.
this is like sure, but it's also like I don't think it's always the same. That's weird, right? That's a weird feeling to have. Anyway, does that answer your question?
It did. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. It is quite beautiful.
Well, I mean, most people are tired of me talking about it. I've read everyone's aura at the caravan so many times at this point that they kind of roll their eyes at me. So
I do want to point out above the table, just for the other characters to do with what they want, that we collectively have now heard about everyone's aura but Alina's. Just...
I laughed.
You know.
If ever you want to talk about it, I'm a great listener. I'm willing to listen to you talk my ear off about it.
Oh, I know. That's why you're like so soft.
Oh.
Like not in a bad way. I feel like that's a...
No, it's one of the things that makes Raelynn such a good friend.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, some people don't like to be called soft because that has a different meaning to it.
I can assure you, I can be quite. No, I'm not going to say that.
That could be hard.
That can be hard. Arr.
I think we all probably giggle from our horses, knowing where that was going to lead.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Sharp is the word I think you were looking for, Raelynn.
That is the word I was looking for. Thank you, Alina. You always have such a good way with words.
Oh, I thought she was gonna say hard.
Raelynn's blush just like gets brighter now.
All right. Well, you guys continue on towards this small town that has been marked on the map that you guys have secured from some of the Savoran soldiers. And it's exactly what you might have imagined with the way that Calla described it. Hold on. I'm drinking way too much bubbly and carbonated drink.
Oh no.
Unleash.
It's like you can see just up ahead, none of the buildings go over 2 stories here. It's a pretty quaint looking town with it's still like it's mostly stone. It seems like apart from these log cabins that you just passed, what you've heard of Mornhold at least is that a lot of the stuff here is built from a very dark looking stone, very similar to the sort of plateau that the crystal had come out of. But yeah, stone, mixture of wood buildings, and it doesn't look too like there's a lot of traffic, but it also doesn't look like it would be weird for you guys to show up right now either. There is just a very light trickle of the odd person coming in as this town comes into view. And as you go into your first proper Savoran town, I guess, and you start walking through the street, it feels pretty comfortable here. It doesn't seem like super foreign at the moment as you're currently entering. Everyone here seems a little bit more dressed down, though you do notice upon like closer inspection, everyone's stitching on their clothing is very fine and intricate. Even the people who seem to be laborers, you see people pulling wagons of building supplies or tending to animals as you come through. And just as Calla kind of suggested when you guys are trying to blend in Mornhold, very nice clothing, but not without its like wear and tear on it. You see dirt, soot, you see hardworking people. They don't seem to really take too much note of you until they kind of notice. They take note of Nyra at first, looking at her hair, but they don't say anything. They do also size Leif up a little bit, especially because he's like walking alongside your guys' horses and like the same height as you, regardless of that. It does look a little bit strange.
Just get a horse on either side of me and some dummy reins to hold on to.
You guys, where would you like to head? Well, actually, Calla will say this. So where do you guys want to go first? You mentioned stopping a few places.
Would you like us all to go shopping for you, or would you like to come with?
You're asking me to go shopping?
No, I'm asking the group. They would like me and Bill to go shopping for them if they want to come pick out something to their taste.
It's gonna be hard to find stuff in my size. I should probably come so I can try it on.
You sound so defeated.
Poor guy.
If not, I could always alter it a bit. I do so.
That would
Get
be
extra.
preferable.
Yeah. It would take some time, but I could try.
Well, I don't know if we have time.
Better than short pants.
I'll go.
I'll come.
We should probably find a place to stable the horses and then we can go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could probably leave them at the inn if you want to get a room first. If they have a room, and then head out.
That'd be wise.
Okay. Well, she's gonna lead you towards like kind of like the center of town. There's a 4-way street here that seems to have a lot of foot traffic. Perfect spot for travelers going through in any direction, and a perfect spot for the Dust Petal Inn. It's a stone and wood inn with some ivy creeping up the side of it, and you can see inside that there is a hearth going. Seems to be moderately full, like not super lively, but there are a couple of horses hitched out front on a hitching post, and seems like there is a bar on the lower level, and then there's a second level that you could probably assume are rooms. If it's up to you if you want to go and scope it out, or if you want to just say that you paid for it and skip on ahead to your shopping. But the
How many rooms do we have available?
And is there a suite for Vale?
Yes, I know that Vale is. I know what Vale's doing.
No, I'm going to tell Vale that he has to room with me because we have work to do.
For the forging?
Mm-hmm.
I think Vale is going to get a room regardless, but he will still spend an appropriate amount of time working with you, and probably even offer to work on it a bit afterwards, since he only needs a certain amount of sleep. It is petal like a flower. Dust Petal Inn.
Well, how many?
You could get each room that they have available. If your guys are wanting to share, you can get a 2-bed room for 2 silver a night.
Okay.
So if 2 of you want to bunk up.
I have the, we have the Savoran coin too, so.
Be frugal with that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think we should need 2 rooms.
Double up.
Mm-hmm.
And not 3 rooms, Vale, but if you want to get your own room.
Mm-hmm.
Can I edit this?
Yeah, if Vale insists on a 3rd room, okay, buddy. But we'll probably try to persuade him for 2 rooms.
I don't think that's going to
But
go well.
there's only 2 beds in a room, so we need 3 rooms regardless.
I don't know if our dear friend Leif can fit into a bed, so
True.
it all depends on what he wants to do.
I'll figure it out.
But we'll get 3 rooms to him.
So
How that
that's 6
goes.
silver.
This might sound forward of me, but I do have space in my tent.
Do I know that it's bigger on the inside? Was that something that was said to everybody, or
It was just Alina and Nyra that noticed that.
I think my feet might stick out the flap.
You might be okay.
I think you might be surprised.
Well, I'm not going to fit on the bed, so I'll try.
All right. Vail is still getting a room though.
Yeah. I'd say you guys, like, Nyra and Raelynn can share, and then Vail and Alina can have their own rooms.
I'm gonna look at
Because you're going to
Vail
be, like, working
dead
a
in
lot
the
anyway.
eyes and go, "You only sleep 4 hours. If you really need your own room, you're gonna make us get a third room for your vanity?"
I have other matters that I have to tend to.
Let him have his room.
Chinook barks.
Nero will.
I'll stay with you two if you don't mind. I can make a pallet on the floor.
Nero.
Oh, I can do that. No problem.
Nero will ask Calla if she can also bunk in the tent, so that we
Oh.
don't have to buy an extra room if we don't have to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, then we only spend 4 silver and get 2
Me
rooms.
trying to get away from Dreamy's character for sleeping, and it never happens.
Sorry.
It's okay, girls' time. Girls' time. Pillow fight.
Pillow fight.
But one of you wants to go to Calla's.
It's good. Don't worry.
I'm just like, I'd rather spend 4 silver. I'm getting real tight with the money looking at how much we have, and I don't know how much
Mhm.
clothes are going to cost.
And since Vail's not here to actually fuss at, we'll let it be here.
Let it be.
This time.
We should only have to pay for 1 silver because he's only going to use the room half the night.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
He has other matters to attend to.
That concerns me.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh, we do have. Oh, okay. I have something I need to ask her when we're in the tent. I just looked at group loot and I was like, oh, we don't know what these are still.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone's free to hang out in the tent, but like when you go to sleep, you could go back to your room. All right, so you guys got your room sorted, and there is a place. There's an area like right out front, which seems to be like maybe for the people who are just eating there, and then around the side of the inn, there's like a sort of area with a roof that you can leave your horses at and set them up with feed for the night.
Take care of the horses and then we'll go shopping.
Feed.
Alrighty. Then, if you are heading to go and shop, Calla leads you not too far from here, maybe like a couple minute walk east of the inn. There is, you see a building that's has this like wood sign that's kind of hanging over the street, and it has like a needle sort of as a key in the word, and it's called Mira's Stitch and Steam. And you do, like, as soon as you enter, you do hear something like theming. There's like a little, there's like a partition sort of thing that there's like a shop front with some already made clothes, and then on this other side of the partition you see like a puff of smoke, and as you enter it kind of rings the bell to alert someone, and she goes, "Oh, a customer." And out from around the partition you see a old gnomish woman, very pronounced nose, and she's very finely dressed in greens and yellows and blues, very like strappy sort of clothing. You see at the back wall too, there's like a bunch of fabric as well that isn't made into clothing. And as she walks out, you see in her hand it's like a little mechanical brick almost that seems to be letting off a bit of steam. And she kind of walks past and sets that out
An
on the
iron?
counter. Yeah. She sets it out on the counter and she looks all of you over and she goes, new faces. Welcome. What are you looking for?
Oh, please me first. So I'm on my way to Mornhold to make my debut. Musical, you understand. And I need something that will impress. I've been in traveling clothes for too long. And I just knew you were the one to help.
She's like encircling you and she's like, yep, those aren't good.
No, I know.
Probably some of Alina's like best wear at this. She's criticizing.
But I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna meet her where she's at.
Yeah. More color, I think.
Yes.
Lots more color. Who did your stitching?
I don't even know anymore. It's been, like I said, I've been so long on the road. I'm ready. I've put in the work. I've put in the effort. Mornhold, here I come. But I can't show up looking like this.
Well, you looking for something tailored, or you looking for something already made? And she points to one side of the room that seems to be made mostly for like feminine figures.
I'm afraid I'm only staying a night, so it probably will have to be ready-made.
All right. And she's going to kind of lead you over to a corner that there's like an area that definitely has more toned down stuff. And she leads you to the very much not toned down stuff. Still very thick fabrics for this sort of weather that you're in, but definitely very angular cuts, peekaboo holes in certain places, and very intricate and like not really necessary type of stitching along the seams, like definitely decorative in a lot of places. This kind of clothing is gonna run you a bit though. Nyra's like, oh no.
I'm gonna try to make like a subtle glance at Nyra.
Well,
How much?
we need multiple outfits, so maybe we could figure out the price after.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's something more toned down for all of you then. Are you all are you like a band or something?
I'll say, you said she's Gnomish?
Yeah.
I'll say to her in Gnomish, I'll just take anything that's in my size.
I love that you speak all those small people languages.
I did. Yeah, she's like actually did not expect that from someone of your size. A boy who speaks my own heart. And she's like,
Oh. So cute.
she's like, she looks at what she has. If I put those two things together, might be pretty comfortable, but you won't be able to get it until the morning.
Morning's
That's-
okay.
Yeah.
All right. She looks you guys over as well. I'm
I
also
don't-
not going to speak for Vale on what I literally don't know what he would ask.
No. DP.
Mhm.
But no, Raelynn will just be like something muted and understated and doesn't draw a lot of attention.
Calla's like standing near the door and is like, nothing for me.
We want the star to shine, so I don't want to draw attention from that.
Oh, okay.
While she's talking to Raelynn, Nyra's gonna go over to Alina. Are we going to try the fortune telling thing? I
If
don't
you-
know.
If you want to, I thought it might be an easy way to cover the hair.
I mean,
I don't want to push you
sort
into
of
that. If you-
can tell fortunes. This is a spell. I got a little bit of.
If you're comfortable with that angle.
Yeah, that's. not a very good liar.
It's all right. Be mysterious and cryptic.
Okay, you pick what I get then.
Now, my friend here has a special set of gifts. And I'm afraid she's also been stuck in traveling clothes. You understand we've been all over the place and it's been too much. But she has a gift of foresight. Now, you know and I know that you can see the future no matter what you wear. But going into a larger city especially, we want to add to her aura of mystique.
She also is circling Nyra now. She actually points out some of the cuts and like exposed bits of Nyra's outfit, and she's like, I actually have something like that, but a little bit thicker. And she's like, okay.
Maybe a
Maybe
veil
a
or a hair
shawl?
wrap or something? Yes, exactly.
Okay. You guys are going to Mornhold
Yes.
from here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so strange. Well, okay. So what kind of fortune telling do you do? Like, if I asked you a question, could you tell me the answer?
I've spoken to the spirits a lot today, but tomorrow I could, when we come to pick up our friend's larger clothes.
I'll tell you what, I will gather everything here, keep all of the clothes, and when you come to pay for everything, if you can use some of your gift for me, I'll give you a bit of a break on the price. I want to know if this big, handsome, strapping lad that came through here last year is going to come through for the festival again.
Do you have his name?
Yes. You want it right now?
It wouldn't hurt for me to think on it. Yes.
His name is Donald or Donner. Do you need... hold on. Hold on. And the little box that she set down starts like steaming as she's like thinking, and she turns it over and she goes, okay. No, it was Donald. Pretty sure it was Donald.
And where did he come from before?
Well, I was too shy to ask.
Oh,
But I know he was going to the festival, so there's somewhere that way. She like points east.
and he was human?
He was an elf.
An elf?
I think maybe half elf with that name.
Okay, elf named Donald.
Half elf man.
We
Okay.
have an elf named Wilbur.
Is this true?
This is just he just tapped into the naming convention of elves here.
Yeah, right.
I will speak on it and then let the cards tell you tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm excited for that now. Even more excited than stitching these two pieces of pants together.
I also have something to sell.
Oh,
Which I have, and she'll pull out 3 reams of silk.
wow. Where did you? And she's going to like take it, and she feels it, flips it over. She kind of tugs at it to see if it keeps its shape well. Huh. How much are you looking to part with this for?
I know how much they're worth in Gareth. She'll just say that. I think 30 gold. For all.
Well, what if I gave you 5 and gave you all of your clothing?
I look at Alina because I don't know what these clothes are gonna be worth. 25 gold for all of our outfits.
See, let's count Leif's as 2 outfits.
Dale's gonna get something fancy. You got something fancy.
I got something fancy.
I purposely
Probably,
got
yeah.
something not fancy to reduce costs.
Mhm.
Do you want to get something fancy?
And you still have the deal because you probably can't tell. This is just meta knowledge. Alina's brain is already buzzing as to which card Nyra needs to pull.
Mm-hmm.
Nyra's gonna use the spell. I'm so bad when it comes to in-game money. My instincts is to say yes.
That's
Oh.
fine.
Okay.
All right. And she's going to kind of go around. She takes the reams, puts them on the counter, goes around. She seems to dig around in something underneath the counter. She pulls out a small little coin pouch and places it on the counter. Opens it up so that you can kind of see that the amount is there. Well, pleasure doing business with you. I didn't think I was going to get something today.
Things work in mysterious ways. Just like winks at Alina. Alright, deleting from my inventory.
All right. You guys got your clothes. You got your rooms. Leif maybe
Anything
has a
else we're
place
gonna
to
do?
stay.
I think we're good on feed and everything and food until we get to town, so.
All right, we can go start the forgery process.
All right. Yeah, you can do that with advantage for.
At some point, I will ruffle through my bag and I'll look at Nyra. This is the one you want. It's a 6 of Cups. Meeting an old friend, someone from your past, nostalgia.
Okay.
I don't know if you have practice pulling particular cards, but
Could I just like
I'll still hand over her deck.
Okay.
Where are you guys doing this?
I am gonna go crash Vale's room because if he has to go get a room by himself, doing the work in his room.
Okay. Calla's gonna go set up her tent. She pays the innkeeper a small bit of money to take up some space, like bunk out in the back, even though it wouldn't get in their way, really.
Primitive camping fee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she is busy for a little bit setting up her very specific tent, and her goat is bothering her once in a while as she does that. Alina, you are with Vale. Where's everybody else?
I'll be getting.
Oh, go
ahead.
No, I'm good. I have no idea, so.
Well, Nyra's gonna probably see about getting everyone's meals for the night.
Okay.
She did promise Calla dinner.
Do you want me to roll sleight of hand at advantage?
Yes.
You got this.
It's gonna take you a bit. As you're working at this, you've never had to, for one, use so many names on a document and get like 3 different people's signatures and a couple of different seals, right? So you do end up making one, but I think you end up getting pushed a bit into the time that you would normally sleep, so you might need to also take a break if you guys are planning to eat together that evening as well. But you do come up with a couple of passable things that night. How many are you trying to make in total?
5.
Okay. So you're able to get 2 and maybe like another one halfway done in that time that you have this evening free.
If I were to take a point of exhaustion, could I finish up the others?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let that be a thing. Okay. And Nyra, you were getting food. The food costs a silver piece each for everyone in the party.
6 people. Okay.
Is there a place to mark exhaustion?
I don't think so. Could be wrong.
Let me look it up.
There is
Also,
somewhere. I found it on accident once.
Is it a condition you just put on yourself?
I'm looking. I don't see exhaustion.
But while she's doing that, what do the 3 of you do during this time that they are busy working on forging documents for you guys? You're able to eat in the tavern. You're able to bring the food out if you so choose. Bring some up to them as well. But yeah, what are you guys up to? What do you want to be doing while they're busy?
Raelynn will probably bring food up to Alina and Vael just so they don't have to stop what they're doing. Just check in on them and see how they are. And then she will, depending, like if it's after dinner, how dark it is or whatever, she might just go to the stables and spend time with her horse, just like brushing him and all that kind of stuff. She's a little sad right now. And then afterwards, she'll probably go back to her broom alone.
Let's see. It's pretty not busy around here, right?
Yeah.
If I caught Raelynn in the stable, would it be reasonable? Well, it's like I like to check around and see if there's anyone else within earshot before I try and approach.
All right, you want to roll a perception check?
Sure.
Sonia's like, you're pretty confident that no one's listening in on you or really paying you any mind at the moment.
I'm gonna walk into the stable and kind of lean in the doorway and
The stable voice.
This is just our thing now.
Leaning
Lean
in
in the
doorways.
doorways. I love
yeah.
it.
You want to hear a story? You just hear from behind you.
She'll like look around. Sure.
Oh. Do you have the exact wording of that note? I thought I wrote it down.
I do.
But I can't
actually
find it in my notebook
What was it?
at the
Session
time.
6? 5. Session 5. Okay. It says, "Don't be sorry. The coin was for those that needed it, and you clearly did. Sorry if my humor wasn't apparent. If you still feel guilty, then you can pay me back with the story of why a noble would even need to steal in the first place. Until
Right.
then, keep the pouch, a token of our future friendship."
Why a noble would need to steal in the first place. All right. Well, I wanted to get away from home, and I slipped out of under anybody's eye quite what's the word I'm looking for? Coincidentally, or quite coincidentally, the day after I met Nyra for the first time. We were up near the border, and I saw an opportunity to strike out on my own because I wasn't planning to. Nobody was expecting me to travel for years and years. I wasn't sent with a lot of provisions. And I saw a way to get some. And I got some, and I was able to get to the coast, and well, you really financed my life for the last 8 years, or at least the start of it anyway, so I should say thank you.
It wasn't me.
Well, you were there.
I'm aware. But why did you leave?
Look around a little bit just to double check and make sure that there's nobody eavesdropping. And
Did you want to go somewhere different, not the stables?
that
I'm
might
paranoid.
be a good idea. I don't want the story to be overheard by people who might know who we are.
Then why don't you keep it for another time when it's safer? I just don't want you to get in trouble.
I think it'll be fine. There's nobody here. I'll just talk quiet. My family's not very nice, and I didn't want to be like them. I think is the short version.
I'm sorry you had to live through that. I'm sorry you still have to live through that. I don't know anything about your life, really, so... It's okay. Keep your secrets.
No. I owe you a story. I owe you a story. You're gonna get one. I might look tall to you and strong to a lot of people, but by our standards, I'm really not, and that's not a look that my family liked for their eldest son. And it's all a lot of pressure to be stronger, not telling someone to get taller, but just constant reminders that I'm not as tall as I should have been and not as strong as I should have been. And my sibling, my little sister was a much better family member than I ever was through no fault of her own. She's taller and stronger. And I got tired of it, and I saw an opportunity to leave, and I left.
I can't fault you on that.
And I needed a little bit of coin to get going, so that's why I needed it.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
I should thank your family then, I guess, if it wasn't from you. I feel like it was from you.
Well, you did steal it off me very blatantly, so it was from me.
Thank you, then.
Okay. I'm just not good at accepting thanks, so.
I haven't had a lot of cause to offer it before, so I don't really know how to give it. So,
perfect.
Help.
Meant to be. And she's like, her attitude's changed. She's lightened up a bit. She's actually focused, like a lot of the story she was focusing on her horse, but then like as you like start joking around a bit more, she's focusing more on looking at Leif as they talk and stuff like that.
But No. And if it wasn't for that, we're setting a long series of events that would have not been set into motion that made my life what it is right now. And I don't think I'd change a whole lot. So maybe get arrested less. That'd be good.
Sorry, what?
You don't know how I met Vael, do you? Or
No.
Wilbur. Wilbur, excuse
Wilbur.
me.
Yes.
Leif
No,
said
I do
Wilbur.
not. Is that a story for another time?
It might be. I'm sure
Should
he'd
you
like
ask
to
Vael
be there.
first?
I'd like to hear what he tells you.
Oh,
I've never heard his version of the story.
I'll be sure when we're far away from here, so I'll ask you both. He's a little busy right now, and I'd hate to disturb him. Thank you for the story. You got the pouch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
It's yours.
Leif looks a little awkward. Thanks.
No problem. I just wouldn't show it around here.
No,
it's actually a bad idea to give it to you, but
it's tucked away.
Okay.
It's tucked away someplace. Scene, I think.
Yeah. They just awkward.
So you guys kind of briefly talked about finding somewhere to go instead of the stables. Did you do that, or did you stay there?
How uncomfortable was Leif?
I think he was just looking
Because if
around.
not, she's alone. She could have been like, come to my room or whatever. In a non-shipping way, you weirdos.
Nope.
I think that
Said
would have
what?
been the preference, somewhere that we can be sure we're not being eavesdropped upon.
Yeah. Okay.
I opened the
Back-
whole room and I had to
back to
stay in his
Raelynn's
room
room.
the whole night.
So they did go to Raelynn's room?
I guess.
If that was an option, Leif would have taken her up on it.
Okay. Was it an option? I'm just kidding. I'm kind of wondering.
Don't offer it. Once things
Um,
got like a little less awkward and she was like in a better mood, she would take him there and then like whatever.
So the reason I ask is because Raelynn notices something. Maybe, actually, like depending on if you guys went there together, Leif might also notice something as you guys head that way. But as you kind of come around the corner from where the stables were, and you head back up to the broom, you notice that there is a young man he's wearing it looks like it could be orange, but it's like a leather coat that's kind of a bit worn, like it's been out in the sun a lot. He's kind of sitting against a building across the street from the inn, but you could tell even when he's sitting that he's probably fairly tall for a human. Very broadly built. He has like thick auburn hair, and it's kind of like tied back messily in a sort of low, I don't know if I'd call it a bun, but it's like he didn't pull the ponytail all the way through sort of thing. You notice that he's like kind of he's sitting there playing with a dog who's just like so happy to be like in his face, and as he's doing that, a white cat just kind of comes around the corner, and you know that thing that cats do where they kind of irk their back a little bit, like they're unsure as they approach. Does that for like a half a second, and then kind of chills the hell out and like approaches him and seems to just like welcome the cat in as well. But as you guys are like walking towards the front of the building, he looks at Raelynn almost with like a slight, it seems like recognition, but like it can't be. You've never seen this person before in your life, and with the kind of time of day that it currently is, the low sunlight seems to catch like this odd greenish, like iridescent hue to some of the freckles on his cheek. Like both of you see that. It's like did my eyes play tricks on me sort of thing.
Oh.
But other than that, he just goes back to playing with these animals. Doesn't seem to do anything or say anything beyond that. And he's quite a ways away. Like it would kind of be awkward for you to just suddenly veer off and go and like be like, hey, what the hell's going on with your skin? Yeah, just a strange look that Raelynn gets, and it kind of just like lingers in the back of your mind for a moment as you then make your way back up to the room and kind of hash out the rest of the story with Leif. Nyra, you said you were going to the tent.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah,
So,
2 things she wants to do.
okay. What else would you like to do?
She's gonna ask Callie, because okay, so you go to this festival every year, right?
She's like, so she's like standing outside the tent. It's all set up now, and you can kind of see inside of it. And she's like, yeah, every year for the last 10 years.
Do you remember a half-elf man named Donald coming last year?
Oh, yeah, he was the one with like the and she's like doing that thing when she was describing your guys' auras. It was like it looked prickly, but then like if you touched it, it would be kind of like soft, I think. He had like he has no hair. He's like I guess you could say he's handsome. Not really my type, but
Has he come before? Was this his first time?
no. I've seen him for 3 years.
So, okay.
And he keeps to himself, though.
Do you happen to know where he came from?
Well, he said he came from Jairus, but he didn't. I don't know. When people tell me they come from over there, I kind of leave it at that because, well, like I said, sometimes they come from where you guys live, and people don't treat them very nicely when they know that. I would rather not expose them, I guess, for that sort of thing. So yeah, usually when people say that they come from that way, I just assume... I assume that I don't want to know.
That's fair. Okay. Okay. I don't want to lie to the woman. I want to actually figure out if he will come.
And that's something your god can tell you?
There's a much stronger spell that I don't know yet, but I do... if I word it right, I might be able to figure something out.
Well, I kind of want to be there for that, so I will be following you to the store in the morning.
Okay. You're more than welcome. May I?
Oh, she like opens it like the side. Come on in. And she's like, like she's waiting for your reaction, sort of thing. And as you go in to this tent, there seems to be like it is much larger on the inside. It comes up to a point that would probably be like a 15-foot ceiling. There is a lantern hanging down from the center that seems to be lit already, even though you just saw her set it up on the outside. There's plush carpets. There's a few chairs kind of set out in the sitting area. There are 4 smaller like areas that you can sort of half see through the flap. She goes, that one's my room. That one's Thimble's room. And then she points to the other 2. You guys can have those 2. You might need 2 cots, though.
We have cots.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, if you want to just bring one of those, then that should be fine. But
This is bigger on the inside.
yes. It's very blue. Like, I love it. like everything in here is like colored in some shade of blue.
Where did you get this?
It was kind of a parting gift, I suppose. When I left home, my mom gave it to me. She seemed sad at first, and then she kind of like did her usual chipper, like, anyway.
Is home far from here?
Oh, takes a long time to get to. Like, I feel like distance-wise, not that far, but there's an island kind of south of Vavosia. Do you know where that is?
I need to see the map. Where's our map? Where's the map, DM? Okay. Is that?
It's on the southeast of Savoran.
Below Jairus.
Yes. Yeah, grew up there. My mom had work in the capital, though, that she wanted to tend to, and my dad's pretty handy with raiding stuff, and they always need people like that in Zardan, so we went there. And I didn't really want to go to either of those places. I don't really like being in one place too long. It was kind of nice living on the island because you could just kind of wander from one end to the other, and they knew I was okay. It's with no house there and not really a skill that people really thought was anything. Kind of found a new home on the road. So yeah.
Do you visit your family on your travels?
I haven't seen my mom in about 5 years. My dad, I see him more often just because our caravan does go through Zardan a bit, so. They're not super proud of me, though, so it's like, you know. But I got Thimble, and you see like is by the door and he's like, what?
I think what you do is very important. Not just the auras, but you are a welcoming and kind person. And on the road, that can be very difficult to find for many.
Guess I never thought about that. They do keep inviting me to the festival every year, so maybe that's something. Of course, I would have shown up anyway, but yeah. Well, I'll let you get all set up and stuff. Thanks for listening.
Anytime.
I can't wait to pick out your lantern at the festival, she says before she just hard turns into her room and disappears for the night.
I'm gonna spend the rest of time until I pass out trying to figure out how to do these cards.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
You guys do your own various things for the night. You get some sleep, and I need all of you. I'll go one at a time. Let's see, who do I want to start with here? It is secrets. Where are my secrets?
We love secrets.
That's exciting.
I'm not going to tell you the secrets, though. Just going to
Sure,
make
we
it
love it.
very cryptic. Raelynn, I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Okay, in the tower?
Nope, it could be out in the open.
Oh.
Terrifying.
I know.
Terrifying.
What for the towers?
Okay, and now I need you to roll another one, but this time with a +3.
The +3, how do I modifier? $22.
And I need you to roll another one with advantage.
This is terrifying.
Like, what do you have
18.
advantage on? What do you have a +3 to?
I'll get Shanks to do his so that I don't feel bad about any low rolls. Leif, I need you to roll. Let's see, wait, what did I need you to roll a straight d20 for me.
How ordinary.
And then one with disadvantage.
Ooh.
Oh.
What is going on?
I don't know. It's scary. Oh, is it bad?
And another
this-
one with a +1.
+1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you use modifiers?
This is so cool. If you
I
click the
missed the
modifier
box.
box,
You missed the
Oh,
type
box.
the number. That's good.
It's better than the 2 that I threw all the way across Fantasy Grounds that didn't go in the box.
Maybe you want a low number on some of these. I don't know.
No, I want big
Alina.
numbers.
Your first roll is going to be with a d6 added.
Oh, how do I do that?
You can just roll a d20 and then a d6 and we'll
Okay.
just add them together.
Did I? Oh, are you supposed to throw it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
into the box.
Okay. Did that
In the
not?
chat box.
You guys
No,
like
no,
I
After
forgot.
chat
Sorry,
box.
forget about the chat box.
There you go.
And a d6. So 13. Another one with a +2.
I want to see whatever this is you're looking at to figure out why it's doing these numbers. This is wild.
Oh no!
It didn't roll in the thing.
It didn't roll. Okay, good. Okay, move that out of the way. Now I should have more. There we go. Okay, that's better. Glad the other one didn't count.
And
We've
then
all thrown dice out of the box.
another one that's just a straight roll.
Okay.
All right, Nyra, I need you to roll. This one you can roll as a religion check.
Okay.
Then a straight roll. And then another straight roll. Alrighty. Okay. As you guys are, you're getting sleep tonight. It's a very quaint town, and actually, Nyra and Leif, you notice that you barely hear anything outside. Like, this is such a well-insulated place that you're spending the night in, except for, like, if there's an opening in the flap to your room, and then outside, that's kind of like where the flow of sound is coming from. But you, yeah, just the sound of steady foot traffic through the town. And Raelynn, you feel, even though you had kind of a rough emotional time over the last few days, you're kind of thinking about some of the little wins that you had as well. It's almost like they are forcing themselves to the forefront of your mind. Just the way that you kind of helped in Perscold, for one, when you were, that message that you sent back to your family about sending supplies in during this wartime. You just kind of feel a warm sense about that in particular. And it helps you kind of get to sleep when normally your mind is like kind of going. Leif has a very different experience. Over the last few days, you've found out things that just made you like angry with your father. I feel like just fuck that guy. And you fall asleep with just like this gut feeling that things are gonna fall apart for him. Like there's just something on the horizon that all of these little pieces that are kind of coming out into the open are gonna fall in place in a way that's gonna give you some satisfaction, at least.
Good dreams.
Alina, your mind has a lot of things going on, and you are tired tonight after pushing yourself. Oddly though, like with all the things going on, with the fact that Alexi is taking on this new role and you're not there and your mom is, and all of these things that are like going on with the sisterhood and the things that you've left them, there could be a lot of different things you think about, but tonight your mind wanders to Kemi for some reason. That's like your last thought before you fall asleep. Not a negative thing, not a positive thing, just she's there somewhere in your mind. Nyra, as you're falling asleep, you are just filled with so much warmth of your god. Everything that you've shared, everything that you've done about anytime that you've kind of stepped out and stood firm in your faith in Isheril is just kind of filling you at this moment. And you get this sense that your brother is out there somewhere as well, feeling that same sort of warmth just before you fall asleep. And I think we'll pick up next session as you guys wake up from that, and Alina is feeling a little bit tired.
Worth it.
Worth it.
No, sorry for freaking you guys out with those rolls. But,
It was fun.
That was so
fun.
good.
Yeah. Let's DM if you can't cause your players a little panic every once in a while.
Right? Sometimes you make them roll and it's not even
Just for fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
those are secret numbers for later.
Curious.
So yeah,
This
sorry
is how
for
many
keeping.
days left to live.
Yeah.
One.
And you guys will be waking up on the 15th of Earthrest in Savorin, in the first town that you've successfully navigated. And I
With
think we'll
fancy new clothes.
we'll go and raid Nice of Silvermoon over there and call it a night, and we'll continue this next week.
Heck
Not
yeah.